The designs for the creatures are so uninspired too. I mean, you saw the trailer. We have, you have rotting sea hag. You have a bloated, waterlogged Danny DeVito. He looks the way he does in Batman Returns as the Penguin. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the next part of my show today, and that is my review for Night Swim, the first new movie that I am seeing in this new year being 2024. Now, last year, last January, we got a great horror film in Megan Chat, one of the big surprises, one of the big sensations of 2023. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. It was on my top 10 for the longest time. It was like, wow, in terms of, film, that started, the year off right, started 2023 off right. And, people are wondering, like, is Night Swim? Will Night Swim be the movie? Will Night Swim be the Megan of 2024? No. I'm going to tell you that right now. No, it is not. Not in any capacity whatsoever. However, I can provide you with a background. I can provide you with a synopsis, chat. Forced into an early retirement due to a disease, a former baseball player and his family move into a new house with a swimming pool. However, the pool contains a dark secret that plunges the family and others into a watery nightmare. Okay, I'll start positive. I'll start out positive by saying that the idea of a haunted evil pool could be good for a short or like featured in a horror anthology movie or special. I was talking about this yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. I'm trying to remember. When I was, considering Night Swim for review, being the first big movie I see in 2024. And then several of you guys in my chat were actually telling me it happens to actually be based on a short from 2014 or somewhere in the 20-teens. And listen, I'll tell you right now, when I say short, I mean short. It's barely 5 minutes long. I think technically, in terms of the screen time, in terms of things actually happening and not credits, I think it might be under 3 minutes. And it's okay. It's fine. It's all right. I wasn't really floored by the short in any way, but clearly James Wan and Jason Blum, two of the producers of this movie, thought it was just brilliant. And they acquired the rights and brought in the original filmmakers to direct a 90-minute film based on that short. I can safely say, after watching this very painfully dull film, that was a huge mistake for everyone involved. Maybe if you suffer from thalassophobia, which is, fear of deep bodies of water, which, to be fair, like, the ocean is a world filled with unspeakable terrors, just horror. So I get that. Then maybe, just maybe, you might find something to like here or get spooked by. But I think most people will be bored out of their minds watching this. I certainly was. Outside of the idea of a haunted pool just being just very silly conceptually, this movie just does the exact same things that we so often see in many ghost horror movies, a genre that I've never been that in love with to begin with. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. Films like the original Poltergeist and the others, most recently movies like Talk to Me that kind of flip the subgenre on its head. So there are exceptions, but you've seen this movie before. You've seen this concept over and over and over and over again. A family moves into a new house. They discover a weird object, room, or whatever. Strange things start happening. One of the kids constantly gets messed with and gets the crap kicked out of him. The history of the haunting is investigated. The entity possesses one of the family members. And, a final act ensues where there's usually a battle and a heroic sacrifice. The end. Night Swim! That's exactly what happens in this movie. That's the movie. I spoiled it for you. I'm sorry. You know, in this case, you have a husband and wife, Wyatt Russell, who I like a lot as an actor, son of Kurt Russell, chat, and Carrie Condon. They buy a new home. Oh, it has a pool. The pool starts acting like a dick, starts stabbing people, trying to drown people, puts fluids inside people. It messes with their derpy, useless son. The mom learns about the history. She investigates the history. Wyatt Russell swallows some pool water. He goes ape shit, and they all have to fight the pool at the end. Night swim. That's pretty much the movie. Now, that might sound pretty fun the way I describe it, but the movie is 90 minutes, and it feels like 2 hours. There's just so many boring, insipid conversations in this film, and everyone in the movie feels like they're just going through the motions. Like, I'm contractually obligated to be here on this day, say the lines in the script, and then just move on. There's really only 2 characters that I liked in the movie, and they were the realtor and the pool tech. They're actually funny and seem to know they're in a movie about a haunted pool, and they make the most of their limited screen time. But outside of them, it's just boring and dumb. Listen, before I even move on, do you guys mind spoilers for this movie? Do you honestly care about Night Swim? Do you care about like what happens in Night Swim? I just want to go ahead and ask before I move. Spoiler. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this. Okay. So, for example, there's a scene where you have like 2 characters playing Marco Polo. You know, you've probably seen it in the trailer. You know, you have the daughter's boyfriend. He gets out of the pool. She starts just getting freaked out because, you know, she starts hearing weird ghost pool stuff, I guess. and it's so funny. And so she's like freaking out. She's screaming, but she just refuses to open her eyes for some reason, even though these bloated pool monsters are attacking her. It's like, just open your eyes and get out of the pool. See, they're trying to concoct all these different scenarios. Like, okay, we got to keep trying to get people back to the pool, you know, at certain points in the movie because it's called Night Swim, so people got to start swimming in the pool. But every time they do that, it's just like, why you know something's wrong with the pool. You know something's messed up, and you just make the characters even dumber. It's like, if you're being haunted by, like, bloated water monsters, and you're playing Marco Polo, and you have your eyes shut, I think eventually, after you just hear weird noises, you'll be like, what the fuck was that? What are you doing? But not this girl. Her fight or flight instincts were not kicking in whatsoever. Wyatt Russell, he gets attacked by diarrhea at one point, just goes right up his mouth hole, right up his nose. He's like, ooh, just liquid diarrhea all inside of his body, just permeating every orifice, chat. There's no doubt about it. The designs for the creatures are so uninspired too. I mean, you saw the trailer. We have, you know, you have rotting sea hag. You have a bloated waterlogged Danny DeVito. He looks the way he does in Batman Returns as the Penguin. And you got everything else in between. I'm gonna ask again. Do you guys mind if I spoil the movie? Do you want me to tell you what happens in the film, like the third act, how it all goes down? Like, what's the mystery of this pool? Like, okay, was it a ghost? Was it cursed? You know, like you guys don't care. I'm gonna spoil away. All right, so you find out that the pool is actually built on an evil magical spring. It's literally, it's not like a ghost is haunting it. It's not like there's some evil entity. No, it's like the water is just evil itself. And apparently it's been around for so long, and it grants like wishes to people. It's like a wish granting pool. And so what it does is it hones in on certain targets. Like, it hones in on certain targets, like people who have like are exceptional individuals. For example, like Wyatt Russell, like he was a former baseball player. He has this degenerative disease where he had to leave, and he's sad. And the pool's like, hey, Wyatt, listen, you were a great baseball player, and we can make you a great baseball player again. Wyatt Russell's like, I like baseball. We know you like baseball. We all know. But all you got to do is just throw your derpy, useless son into the pool. We'll just gobble him up, man, and you can play baseball. And he's like, well, that sounds like a great idea. And so it possesses him over time, and he starts doing crazy ghost pool stuff. Throws his, and then, by the way, the kid is useless. Like, because even they say, like, because like Wyatt Russell, he's exceptional because he was a baseball player. The mom is just, she's the rock of the family. She does all the investigating and stuff. The daughter is competent and popular. She's got a boyfriend, and then they got a useless son. Like, he's good at nothing, absolutely nothing. Like, he sucks at baseball. He's not that bright. He can barely swim, and so the pool's like, this kid doesn't got a future. Just let me eat him or something. And they throw him in there, right? And but then, of course, the mom finds out what's actually been going on. She learns the history of the pool, of the cursed water. And so she ends up going down to the pool. And this is where people's thalassophobia might kick in because it's deeper than you think. The deep end is far deeper than you think, Jay. It ain't 10 feet. It ain't 100 feet. It ain't 1,000 feet. It's infinite. Night swim. And so she goes in there, gets the kid out, but then Wyatt Russell, he fucking comes to at some point, and the pool's like, hey, listen, man, you got to give me something. So Wyatt Russell, he makes this, I'll sacrifice myself to the pool. It takes him, chap. And then you have the survivors. You get the wife and you got the two kids. And their decision, they make a decision like, oh, we can't just move out of the house. We can't just, like, leave. Because then, like, another family will come in and they'll also succumb to the evil of the pool water. And so what we'll do is we'll just live here for the rest of our lives and for multiple generations, right? And we'll fill up the pool. We'll fill it up so it won't have an effect. But the problem is, it's not like, but there's like an infinite amount of water underneath it because it's weird cursed mumbo jumbo magic water, right? And they show in the movie the pool water's getting in everywhere. It's permeating the ground. It's getting through the pipes. It's going through like faucets and like shower heads and shit. And so it's like, well, it's gonna get you no matter what. So I mean, you're fucked. Just leave. And so, they're definitely probably setting up for a sequel if they want to. But it's like, you're again, the movie it doesn't have any sense of rules. It doesn't have any sense of structure. It can do anything it wants. And then by the time, the thing is, when you present something, this is a problem in a lot of ghost movies. If you don't present it with a sense of rules and structures, then and it's just allowed to do anything then it wants, then there's those stakes. And it's like, well, nothing kind of matters because it's always going to end up being this way anyway. And so that in itself just makes it so dumb. But yeah, listen, those of you who were like hoping this film would be the Megan of 2024. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's just not any capacity. That movie's actually well written and directed and has charming performances and a great character, a great villain in that of Megan, who is both charismatic and charming, but also very funny and also terrifying. Chat. The pool's it's got a sea witch. It's got a bloated waterlogged Danny DeVito. It's got a crazy Wyatt Russell that just really wants to play baseball. That's really all it has. And so, yeah, sadly, it's very much a bad January horror film that was just dumped out to earn a little bit of money. Night Swim! That's Night Swim, chat. First, also, James Wan, get out of the water. I don't want you in the pool anymore. I don't want you in the pool, the ocean, the lakes, the rivers. No, you messed up Aquaman twice. Now you're here with Night Swim. He's making a Cthulhu movie, and I'm just like, I don't want you nowhere near the water anymore. You bad James Wan. You messed up 3 in a row. That's 3 strikes. And you're out. That's what Wyatt Russell says because he loves baseball. He says it often in the movie. But that, my friends, is my review for 2024's Night Swim. Did anyone else see this movie? I was the only one in the theater watching it. I was alone. I was the lone person seeing it, Chad. I was like Homelander just staring at the screen. I was just talking to myself watching it. I was texting. I didn't care. I was just like, whatever. Watching this movie completely by myself at a Friday afternoon screening. But what about you guys? Did you like it? Did you hate it as much as I did, or you're somewhere in between? Let me know.